picked the biggest field we could find and aimed for the middle of it.
A Jefferson City pilot and 3 passengers are safe tonight after a scare today when they had to land this plane in a field in southern Boone County. The Cessna came down in a cornfield off of Route M and Highway DD near Ashland about 2:30 this afternoon. ABC 17's Dana Clemens is live from that field. Dana, you talked to the pilot. What did he say went wrong?
Stephanie, the pilot, Kirk Powell, tells me the flight was going smoothly until the descent. That's when the first engine failed. And then just a few minutes later, the second one failed as well. Now take a look behind me at the plane. They managed to land in the middle of the field, and he says both engines were just inspected, so he believes that it was fuel contamination that caused this failure because of ice crystals. Powell and his 3 passengers were on their way back from Iowa, and they were trying to land at the Jefferson City airport. The first engine failed, so then they aimed for the Columbia airport. But the second engine failure made that landing happen a lot sooner.
You know, I would equate it to driving down the railroad tracks. It's kind of what it felt like, just a steady vibration and lots of noise.
Powell tells me he's been flying for 26 years and never had anything like this happen. Thankfully, he and his 3 passengers are safe tonight. Reporting live in Ashland, Dana Clemens, ABC 17 News.
All right, thank you, Dana. We do know that aircraft is registered to Alico Incorporated, which is out of New Bloomfield.
4 people are safe after landing in the middle of a cornfield today near Ashland. Good evening, I'm Meredith Haynes.
And I'm Joey Parker. We first told you about the emergency landing as breaking news at 5 o'clock. The pilot says both engines failed around 2:30 this afternoon, and he made it safely to the ground near Route M and Highway DD.
ABC 17's Dana Clemens is joining us live from the scene tonight. And Dana, the plane is still sitting behind you.
That's right, Meredith. As you can see, the plane is still behind me right now, and Southern Boone fire crews actually don't know when it will be moved or what it will take to move it. Now, the pilot flying the plane today was Kirk Powell, but it was actually his friend's plane. He tells me he thinks it's now a total loss because the landing gear failed as well as the 2 engines, so the landing was a hard one. But he's considering himself lucky that no one was hurt.
That's your biggest concern, is something catching on fire, but of course you get out as quick as you land. And once we decided we weren't going to roll over, which is probably the second biggest fear, then you just get out and count your blessings and go on.
Powell and his passengers were on the way back from Iowa, headed to Jefferson City when the first engine failed. They made their new target, the Columbia airport, until that second engine failed. Then Powell says he just looked for a big field with a place that he could land in. He tells me he thinks the failure was caused by ice crystals in the fuel. And he also says he had to take the flight class every year for the last 26 years he's been flying, and he's now thankful because his training automatically kicked in once the emergency landing had to start taking place. Reporting live in Ashland, Dana Clemens, ABC 17 News.
All right, thanks, Dana, and we're going to hear his complete